everyone, Mike the Pied Piper here. In today's main deck video, we're going to go over how to play the Dragon Ball Super card game on the Untap client, along with some proper etiquette when asking to play certain type of matches or certain formats on the client. Hey everyone, Mike the Pied Piper here, and as I said in the introduction of this video, we are going to go through how to play Dragon Ball Super on the Untap client. And as at the recording of this video, the Dragon Ball Super card game online client hasn't officially came out yet, but Untap is a really nice way for you to play players not just like within the States, but all over the world. And then also testing cards that hasn't even come out yet. Like, so when cards get released or when they show the previews for them, they appear right away on Untap. So a lot of players, to get a heads up on the competition, they will actually test new sets before they even come out, so they know exactly what they want. So in today's video, I'm going to show all of you how to play on the Untap client, and then also kind of some proper etiquette while doing it. So first off, for our new players that that are getting into the Dragon Ball Super card game, first off, welcome. And the first thing is, before you start getting on the Untap client, you do want to have a basic understanding of the card game. And in order to have that basic understanding of the card game, you're going to want to go to the official Dragon Ball Super website, and if you card game website, and when you go here, you're going to see up here where it says rule, and then for new players. And if you click on new players here, you're going to see that there is an app. Download this app. You will be able to download this app to your phone, and this is really going to teach you the basics of the Dragon Ball Super card game. You will face a computer, which is quite competitive, can be quite fun, but it'll teach you all about like comboing, the main phase, what you can do, like negates, and it's going to teach you the real basics of the Dragon Ball Super card game. So I encourage all new players to go to this website, download the app, and this is where you're going to get a real high level overview of the card game, real basic understanding. Now, once you've done that, I do encourage you to also check out some of our deck profile videos. Actually, right here on the main deck channel, like there's quite a few that I've done, especially like really budget-friendly builds that you can try out for yourself. I do encourage you to check out those videos, so then that way you can kind of learn kind of the direction and play style that you want to play once you do create your deck. And then once you have an idea of kind of what you're looking for and you're ready to get right into it, you can build your deck. And there's a few different ways you can build your deck. The first way, and this is the most common one, is going to dbs-deckplanet.com. And this is right now, at the time of this recording, this is the main site that we use for Dragon Ball Super deck building. Right now, you will see that this is my Zamasu deck, or one of my versions of my Set 7 Zamasu deck. But in order for you to get this over to Untap, again, if you go to the website, pretty self-explanatory. If you go over here, like you'll see some options. You can go over to Deck Builder, and when you go to Deck Builder, you can build your deck, search for certain cards, add them to your main deck, your Z deck, your side deck. Once you do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click here where it says untap.in, and it will ask you to log in. Creating an Untap account, pretty simple. Just go to untap.in, put it right into your browser. You can then create your account, and then what you can do is you can then put that, like I have the app actually set directly on my computer. You can also play on your phone or your tablet. What's really cool is I have one of those phones that is both a phone and a tablet. So you got my phone here, and then I just open it, and then there you go. So I do have my phone and my tablet that you can play on. So once you actually then create your deck, then you're going to see the Untap website, and it will look like this. Now this is, we will go back here. This is my these are my decks. So once you've logged in, you can create like a variety of decks. I do currently have a Patreon account with Untap, and I do encourage all of you, like $5 a month. And when you do that, it does allow you to create like unlimited decks, and there's a few other options which I'll kind of highlight. But you'll see my login there, so you'll create your login. So if you see me online, I'm Master Piper. Hi, that's me. So if you do play me, but I do have my variety of decks. So then all you do is, so for example, you just saved your deck, you've imported it. You can go in here, and this is where you can make changes to it. Please be careful when you do import your deck from DBS Deck Planet. Sometimes it will not import the correct card. This is where you can just go over here, click on the card that you want to remove, like you can add or minus here. So you'll see here you have your main deck, below here you have your Z deck, and then finally you have your sideboard, which is basically like, you know, in the Dragon Ball Super card game, you're allowed 15 cards for your sideboard. You're never going to keep anything in your life points, warp, drop area, or starts in hand. Like, you're not going to be using any of that. Unless, sometimes if you have a leader that says this card starts out in play at the beginning of the game, what you can do is that will always start in your hand. Just because it's really easy for you to play it out right at the beginning of the game. You don't have to search for your deck. So, not a big deal. You can leave it in your deck, but sure. So once you've actually created your deck, everything looks good. And again, if you wanted to add cards, you just go over here. For example, we'll type in Zamasu. We'll look for a card here. You can then see the list of cards right over here. Some cards are, like, you'll notice that they are in different languages. Like, for example, like I believe this one is the French version of the card. You do want to make sure everything is in the English version. You'll see, like, well, again, depending on the region that you're playing in, but you'll see the images of the card right here. Normally, you know, you'll see right below it, you know, you'll see the effects, activate main, all that good fun stuff. And then, yeah, right up here, start your leader, all that goes right up here. So once you have your deck, which I'll show this real quick. If you do have a Patreon account, what you can do is you can change like your card covering. So I do have Ron Swanson. If you wanted to change your sleeves, you could choose an image and do that here. Again, if you do have a Patreon account, you would be able to do this. You can also change your deck, your playmat, like so the playmat that you play on. So once that you've actually created your deck, so we've got it saved. What you can do is if you want to like change your playmat, you can actually do that up here in settings. So you click on this, you know, you'll see my profile here, and then you can go over here to, playmat image right here. So you can change your playmat image right here. So right now, this is the playmat that I have, and yeah. So once you do that, then you're going to get ready to start a game. And what you can do, I will tell you, for the first time that you're playing on Untap.in and you want to learn the controls, start a solo game so you can learn the controls and learn to interact with your opponent. So you'll just go to new game here. This is where you're going to put your game title, and we'll get into more details later with this, but this is really important so you're setting the expectation of the format and what you're trying to test. So in this case, we're just going to start a solo game because we're going to kind of showcase some of what Untap can do. You can do mirror play or do deck versus deck. So if you want to have your deck versus another deck, let's say you had multiple decks. In this case, we're just going to remove that. We're just going to have the solo option here. So we'll start the game. Then you're going to want to click Enter Game. Once you're in Untap, it's going to have choose a list of your decks. You're going to find the deck that you want, so the deck you're going to play, and then you click on it. Once you click on it, any of the cards that you say that you'll have out and play, this is your leader, so my leader will come out and play. And then what you're going to want to do is, just like in Dragon Ball Super, you're going to want to draw your 7. You'll see that your Z deck is right here, 7 cards, and then you'll have right here, if you click on this, left click, you'll see the option Draw, and then you'll click Draw 6. And then from here, you'll choose the cards that you want to keep in your hand, which this looks like a pretty decent hand. 1, 2, looks like 3 of my pieces. We'll throw that back. We'll throw... you know what? We like that super combo. Let's say we're not going against an aggressive deck. We don't necessarily need Dimension Magic. So once we decide the cards that we want to keep, again, you're going to go left click here, and this is where you're going to see all of your options. You're going to want to shuffle your deck, and then you will confirm your deck is shuffled, because it'll say right here, your deck has been shuffled. So once it's been shuffled, we want to draw 2, so we go over here, draw 2, and now we have our 2 cards. Then to draw cards from your life, you're going to click on this, and this is where you're going to see the option right above where it says draw. It says draw 2. And then if you go up here, you'll see the options. Life, warp, drop area, to play, right here. What we want to do is we want to draw 8 to our life. So we just click here and we click 8. And there's our 8 cards in our life. Finally, generally what you do is to determine who goes first. Most players online do roll a d20. So you will notice some options are over here. If you click on this, you'll see where it says roll d6, d10, d20. You want to click on d20. So you'll see I rolled a 4, which is pretty low. In the card game, generally whoever rolls the highest will go first. So that's what most people do when they play the Dragon Ball Super client or on Untap. They will roll a d20 to see who goes first. So now we're going to play. So I'm going to show you kind of some like how to lay in energy and just some basic stuff with Untap, and then how to move stuff around. So now we have our hand, so we're going to draw a card. So again, once we draw a card, we click on this. We're going to click draw 1. Okay? And then we're going to place our energy. So in this case, we'll play this. All you do is you're going to drag this from your hand, and you're going to drag this out in the field. And then if you left click this, you're going to see an option that says invert. And when you invert it, that's how you put it as an energy. So you'll notice it shows the energy marker when you're playing the Dragon Ball Super card game. Right? Then if you're going to attack, what you're going to do is you're going to double click. And when you double click, that puts your card in rest mode, and that indicates an attack. If you want to target a card on your opponent's side of the field, all you're going to do is if you click on the card, there's a couple ways that you can symbolize this. Some people will shake the card, right? They'll shake it. They'll say, hey, I'm going to do this. And let's say, and then again, we're just putting this out. Let's say this leader wanted to attack this leader or this card. So they'd shake it and then left click and then they'd shake it again. Or what I like to do, and this is just me, this is the way I do it, is I'll click on it. And then what I'll do then is I'll click target source. And then it'll say something to target. So let's say I want to attack that card. So I go like this. So now it shows the arrow and it says this card wants to affect this card. Right? Again, this is just all under your left click. You just click on it and then you'll see all those options on here. Okay? So let's say with Goku Black and Zamasu's ability, it has an ability that says you look at your top 5 and then you can choose a card, Goku Black or Zamasu card, and put it in your hand. That's really easy to do. All you're going to do is you're going to go over to your deck, click on it, and you're going to click Peep 5. That means you're going to look at your top 5. If you click that, Peep 5, you'll then see your list of cards right here. So let's say we're like, oh, we want to pull, we need the 9-drop. So we're going to pull the 9-drop here. All you do is you can drag that out into play to show, hey, I am choosing this card, and then you're going to take this and you're going to put it right back into your hand. That shows that you're actually pulling that card and it's a legitimate source from your deck. And then finally, paying for energy, you're going to, double click it. And let's say we were going to play this. So in this case, how you would use this card is this one says that you can play an energy from your deck. Okay, so again, once we've went through our deck, which I totally forgot to do this, once we looked at our top 5, we want to shuffle. You always want to shuffle. So click here, shuffle. And then when you do that, all you got to do is you go draw 2. This time we want to draw the card, the top card that's out, we want to put it out into play. So what I'll do is I'll go, top card of my deck goes into my energy. So I'd go like this. I'd go draw 2, play. And then that way we just go like this, drag it down, invert, there we go. So it's a really easy way for you. This is how you can ramp when you're doing like ramp type energies, all that good fun stuff. When you take damage, all you're going to do is you're going to go over to your life over here. You're going to hit this button right here, and then you're going to draw 2 directly to your hand. That way your opponent doesn't see the card. So if they don't get to see it, you just go, yep, I'm going to take a life. Take 1 life. Card goes to your hand. Okay? You can shuffle it if you need to look at your hand. Or you need to look at your life. So say you run a deck where you need to look at your life in order for you to play a card. This is when you're going to go to reveal. You're going to go to reveal to me. Right? So up here, left click, reveal to me. Then you're going to click on it. And then let's say there's cards that you want to choose from here. Right? And go, oh, yep, this is going in my life. Or nope, this is going into my hand. You're just simply going to do the drag and drop. That's all you got to do there. And then once you do that, you're going to conceal. And then you're going to shuffle. Okay? Now, if your opponent, let's say you need to choose a card from your opponent's hand, what you can do is there, you will go to your opponent's hand, which I don't have a hand over here, but what you would do is you would click on their hand, and then over there, it'll then allow you to choose a random card from their hand. So let's say you have an effect where you get to choose a random card from it, or they can do that as well. Like I know the Cells Kamehameha, that works like that. So really, that's kind of the basics when it comes to Untap. Again, you're going to combo cards from your hand. This is where you can draw. Again, when you're going to play an energy, you're just going to put this out here, and then we invert it. You know, energies go here. Your warp, your warp's right over here. And then anytime you're going to look through your Z deck, so let's say you're going to play a Z deck card, you're just going to click this right over here. You're going to click Find Card, and then you can just literally drag and drop your Z deck cards. Finally, when it comes to Z Energy, so Z Energy is a new mechanic that was listed in Dragon Ball Super. So when you combo, for example, we'll put these cards back in the hand, we'll put these back in the Z deck. What you do is when you're comboing, you want to put the combo cards right by your leader. And then once you're done with the step, all you're going to do is you're going to choose one of your cards that you want to put in your Z deck. You're just going to invert it, and you can put it over here. I have seen some people where what they'll do, you can do it this way as well. I mean, you know, is you can like do this and then group the cards. So group the 2 cards and then click on this and call it Z deck, right? You can do it that way. And then that way the number's right there and your opponent can see just how many Z deck cards you have. Kind of a personal opinion. And then again, if you wanted to look through it, you know, you would then send all these cards to the warp or drop in order for you to play cards. You can ungroup them. Different ways that you could play when it comes to the Z deck. But yeah, otherwise, that's really the basics of how to play Dragon Ball Super on Untap. I do encourage you to play around with the different settings. Like over here, untap all when it's the beginning of your turn. When it comes to passing your turn, you do that right over here. So you'll see, because I'm not playing another opponent, but if I was over here, you'd see where it says pass turn. So you could pass turn right there. But I encourage you to play around with the settings on Untap, so then that way you are prepared to play the Dragon Ball Super card game on the Untap client. Final thing that I wanted to go over is some more of some etiquette things when playing on the Untap client. And here's what I mean by that. So first off, when you are done with your game, you're going to just go here, finish game and leave game, right? So the first thing is when you are starting a new game, you are going to see playstyle: beginner, janky, relaxed, optimized, and competitive. If you are new to the Dragon Ball Super card game, make sure you're putting in beginner, and make sure you're putting up here in the game title, hey, I'm a beginner, I'm learning the game, just want to play an easy, fun deck. So make sure that you're putting that play style, right? And then as you learn the game, you can go to higher type play styles, like eventually to optimize and then competitive. The next thing, you want to be very clear in the game title on what you want to play. So for example, there are players that are looking to test for like regionals, and they're not looking to test the new cards. They only want to test legal cards. Or let's say a ban list just came out, but the ban list isn't in effect for another 2 weeks, right? You want to make sure you're putting very clear in the game title. So for example, I'm saying testing new ban lists, any decks welcome. Ban list isn't live until the new set comes out, I believe at the time of this, I think it's June 15th. So the ban list isn't going to be live till then. However, I'm testing the ban list now that just came out for the game. So make sure that you're making it very clear in the game title. And then the other thing to remember is, this is just a game. You're learning the game. I mean, you may not agree on rules. That's okay. Again, just talk it out. You're both learning. And if you lose, it's okay if you lose. Losing on Untap is not that big of a deal. You're learning more about your deck. It's all for fun. So just, a lot of times in games, so for example, here we'll do the solo, enable mirror play here. When you do that, you're going to sit there, like when you start the game, you want to make sure, hello, put in the chat, and then GLHF, and that stands for good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun. And then make sure at the end of the game, good game, you could say, GG. Make sure that you're being, make sure you're being nice online. Again, that's how you're going to get to be able to play other players and learn about the game. And again, this is just, you get to play players all across the world. So there's like some really, really great opportunities. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please reach out to me if you do have any further questions. Again, make sure new players, you are checking out the Dragon Ball Super app, or the client once the client does become live. But then once you are ready to play on Untap, start a solo game, learn the different, learn how everything interacts, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Be nice, good luck, have fun. I hope to see you all on there and play some games, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.
Thanks for watching another Main Deck video. Main Deck is sponsored by Troll and Toad. Visit trollandtoad.com and use discount code MAINDECK5 to get 5% off your purchase and support the channel. And by JWW Sports Cards and Gaming. Visit jwwcards.com. And by our amazing patrons. Get exclusive content and other cool perks on the Main Deck Patreon. And hey, while you're here, I bet you'd like one of these videos. Go ahead, click one. I know you're gonna love it.